You know, in the day and age where there's armchair everything, right? There's armchair quarterbacks, there's armchair presidents, there's armchair game developers, armchair, console creators. There's armchair everything. And in a day and age where, let's call them dolts, think they know everything, do they really, though? I mean, when we actually look at interviews from developers and from these creators and from the engineers, we see a completely different picture. And I gotta say, I like the picture that they're painting, because that's more or less likely what we're going to get. I can remember this was back in my old Xbox fanboy days when I was told that the gap between the exclusive, or the gap between the multiplats, would get wider as the years went on between Xbox One and PS4 in terms of resolution. People kept thinking that the Xbox One would keep losing resolution as games got more complex. It didn't really happen. I mean, if you count up the number of, like, quote-unquote 720p games, I think it was, like, less than 20. Now, yeah, there was a lot of 900p and some awkward, resolutions, but honestly, we never saw that less than 720p, or if we did, very few less than 720p. So, you can't always take those. And again, the people at that time were the YouTubers and stuff saying that was going to be the case, and just much like it is this time, where people are like, oh, well, there's such a power difference, it's going to be crazy, and it's going to melt your eyes and all that. Like, none of that stuff actually happens. So it is interesting to see when developers come out and speak about this kind of stuff. So according to this, everybody's talking about the GPU difference and things like that. Now we're starting to see more information come out, and it's clear that both consoles have a very unique advantages and disadvantages in different areas. Xbox Series X, obviously, be foolish to say it doesn't have more power at 12 T-flops, and the PS5 10.3. So there is that. There's a lot of discussion about, the numbers and paper and stuff like that. But you know what? As a football fan, last off-season, everybody was crowning the Cleveland Browns champions, right? They were going to win that division. They were going to go to the playoffs. What happened? That didn't happen, because sometimes stuff looks great on paper, and it doesn't translate to, the actual thing on the field. So hopefully that's not the case with either of these consoles. They both sound pretty powerful, and they're going to have some good games. For me personally, always know that Sony's going to deliver some fantastic stuff. So according to this developer, which I will link this interview, you guys can check it out. They asked if there was going to be a difference due to the gap in the console clock speeds and the GPU and stuff like that. He says, we really don't. Asked if he feels the gap between the two consoles' clock speeds will end up making much of a difference. Both consoles seem very powerful and way beyond the capabilities needed for anything we'll be making for the foreseeable future. He also spoke about the PS5's custom 3D audio engine, suggesting that he was impressed with it. He says 3D sound is cool, so we're sure it will be awesome when we play games that make use of it. In the same interview, he also spoke to him about the different approaches to backwards compatibility and stuff like that. Again, I think backwards compatibility is most important this generation. Next generation, because this generation, people have bought more games than ever, and we all a lot of people went digital. So, people have literally hundreds and hundreds of digital games, and they want to take that stuff with them, or their controllers and all this kind of stuff. So that's nice to know that can happen. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think there's going to be a huge difference between Xbox Series X versions and PS5 versions? I personally don't. Of course, there's going to be always somebody that's going to think differently. So let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Rack 'em up. Crapgamer out.